Hello? I need some help to see if this has happened to anyone else. And I'm sure as a kid when you got your first phone, well, if you were poor like me, it was a basic Android. The second I got my phone, I was immediately lost in the possibilities of games, photos I can take, messaging apps, status at school, just everything you could think of that comes with getting your first phone. For the first few years of having a phone in elementary school, I got really into exploring the internet. I loved taking photos and sharing them with family and friends, but I also heard about a different side of the internet not many people know about or even have experienced. To this day, I still haven't, nor do I ever plan, on visiting the dark web. But I did a lot of research on the topic as a kid. I've heard about secret encrypted chat rooms, the fact that you could buy anything imaginable, and how you could do all of this 100% confidential. That alone caught my eye, having privacy. I've never had a room to myself. I've always shared it with my sibling, and they always got the bigger side of the room, leaving me with a small corner. Privacy was not a thing for me. The second you open our door, you have full view of my bed, while my sibling had curtains to hide themselves. Not that I ever did anything embarrassing per se. It was just uncomfortable to always have to be in the public eye, no matter what I was doing. Any bit of privacy I can get, I always searched for. I later learned how on the app stores on different providers can have varying results. I looked up encrypted chat room on my Android and got a list of a lot of apps. But my friend with an old iPhone looked it up, and nothing really of value appeared. It was mostly just VPNs, which we didn't know about since we were just little kids. I chose to download a few different ones and tested them out without telling my friends. As you can expect, nothing worked. All the apps were just different platforms to message on rather than basic messaging apps or social media DMs. I felt a little bit down, but I didn't really think much of it. Cut to me in high school. Now, I have a better Android. It was still a cheaper model, and we were still poor, so it was called something like the LG Optimus G64 or something like that. I still get to see more apps than my friends with newer iPhones, and since it's been a few years, I've learned quite a lot. I found a chat room that didn't appear in your search history and would auto-delete messages whenever you close your tab. No trace of names either, as I simply left your name as user 1, 2, etc. And it did depend on how many people had the link to your private chat room. I showed very few people this chat room, and we used to talk in class with it. Well, whenever we were given the school laptops for class, of course. It was a cool glimpse into a bit of privacy, but I wanted more than just 2 hours that I got from one day of class. I decided to try and find a few more private messaging apps again, and I saw the old ones that I tried and didn't work, but I also saw a few new ones. I chose 3 apps with quite stereotypical names like Anonymous Messaging App, Text Your Friends in Secret, and Private Messenger. No messages are saved. I don't remember the exact names of the apps, but I'm sure you get the picture and might have even seen some yourself. Of course, I instantly tried all 3 apps. The first one didn't send any messages to anyone. The other one was just another basic messaging app. But the last one was different. It actually worked. I messaged one of my friends, and not only did they get the message on their default messaging app that came with their phone, but they also replied to me, and I got it in the app. We had a quick 5-minute conversation before I ran out of free messages. I wasn't told about this, but I didn't care. I found an app that worked. I later called my friend and explained what happened, and asked them if they could send me a photo of what my name appeared as on their end, and sure enough, they sent me a screenshot that showed our conversation, but the name was simply labeled unknown. Now this thrilled me. I eventually found out that the limit was 10 free messages, since the app never told you this. I later even found a loophole where I could delete the app. I downloaded it a few more times, and sure enough, 10 free messages refreshed. Every single time. I downloaded a few more free secret apps, such as a secret photo vault that appeared as a calculator. Now I'm sure you've heard of this one, or even have Calculator Plus itself, since that's the one I used. Cut to the middle of high school. I knew every hidden app you can think of. You want a photo vault? Get this app. You want a messenger app? How about this one? How about even a temporary email? I know the app. One day, as I was walking home from school, I was scrolling the App Store once again to try and find more messaging apps, since I only had the one that worked. And I was tired of constantly deleting and re-downloading it. I tried almost every single one at this point, but I decided to see if any new ones were made. And to my surprise, later that night, there was one that just appeared as I refreshed the App Store. It didn't have many reviews, and since it was made, it said just a few days ago, I decided to download it. I know downloading the apps is a dumb idea now, especially since I didn't know what phone tracking was, or that this app could even give my phone a virus. But I was too blind by having a bit of privacy to think those things through. Lucky for me, my phone ended up being fine, and to this day, I never got a virus from those apps or anything like that. But I didn't get away scot-free. Once I opened the new app, simply titled something like, "Chat anonymously with anyone." Another stereotypical name, of course. The next morning, though, I tested the app again, and this time, it ended up working. But I also noticed there wasn't a limit on free messages. The night I tried it, it didn't let me send a single message, so I just closed it and waited for the morning. To see if, I don't know, maybe it worked this time. Of course, when it did, after I sent my 10 messages, I was ready to delete the app after getting the pop-up saying, "You are out of free messages." But after 10, it didn't appear. 20 messages? Nothing. 30? 40? Hell, even 50? And still, nothing. Of course, I didn't want to spam my friends, so the majority of them I sent to my actual phone number. But still, I never got the message saying I was out. I was blown away at this point. I used this app for a few months to play some pranks on my friends, or even secretly message people, like telling my crush I liked them. Yes, I know it's cringe, but leave me alone, I was a little kid, okay? But the difference with this app from the previous 10 free messaging app, well, besides the limit on messages, of course, was that I couldn't receive text on this new app. I could send as many texts as I wanted, but it appeared on my phone's default messaging app that came with my phone as a brand new thread with the person I texted. My messages never appeared on my phone's default messenger, only my friends' responses. But my new chat app did the opposite, showing my texts, but no replies. I didn't get notifications either, simply just my phone's basic messenger saying I got a text from whoever I was texting that day. However, nearing the end of my sophomore year, I got a text from someone on my default messaging app from an unknown number. I thought it was just a friend using *67, if you know what that is, since they had iPhones and could do that to get back at me. The message simply read, "Hello." Wow, how original. My friends are so funny. I messaged them back saying hi, but almost instantly received another text. "What app do you use to send the hidden message things?" I've mentioned before that I told certain people about the apps I found, but I thought this was someone I didn't know, and They didn't want me to know, which was fine, I guess. I told them about the app, and they didn't reply. So I simply just deleted the conversation after an hour and went on with my day. I didn't mention the unlimited app, mind you. Just the 10-frame message one that I gave everyone since I didn't want to give away my personal app. Later that night, my phone vibrated, and I checked to see nothing in my notifications. Now, ghost vibrations do exist, especially with iPhones, but at this time, I didn't even know it was a real thing. I thought it was just a rumor. I put my phone back down on my dresser and walked away, only to receive another notification. This time, I saw my phone screen light up. Now this was odd, as I know when ghost vibrations occur, your phone doesn't light up and pretend to have a notification. It just vibrates and leads you to take out your phone and check to see there was nothing there. I walked back to my phone and checked my home screen again, still to see nothing. I unlocked my phone and checked every notification I could, and still nothing. After a few minutes of confusion, I was about to put my phone back down when I saw 2 new notifications on a folder full of apps that I had. That's weird. If a game of mine had a notification, why didn't I see it on my home screen, I thought. I found this very odd. But then I realized the notifications were coming from a specific folder. My hidden apps folder. Specifically, my secret unlimited message app. And I was completely baffled at this point. I thought I couldn't get messages on that app, especially since I didn't in the past, nor did I ever tell anyone about this app either. I opened my app and saw 2 messages from unknown once again. They repeated the first text they sent me. Hello. And I actually saw my response. Hi. And the follow-up text asking for the app that I used, but it was slightly altered. I checked both my phone's default messenger and the app responses to confirm it. What app do you use to send the hidden message things? Said my phone's default messenger. I found the app you use for the hidden message things, said my secret app. I didn't know what to do, or even if this was just one of my friends playing a prank on me. Maybe if others had this app and messaged you on there, you can get replies. I didn't know. But after reading the message and not replying to either thread for 30 minutes, I got a new text from both apps at the same time with different messages that absolutely terrified me. My default messenger app read, I know who you are. My secret messaging app read, I know where you are. The next day, I asked every one of my friends who I told about the 10 messaging app to see if they had it. I checked their phones, their default messaging apps. I did everything I could to see if this was just a messed up prank from one of my friends, but they all denied that they did anything. And of course, I believed them after checking their phones and just chose to forget about the interaction and figured one of them was just pranking me in a messed up way and didn't want to admit to it, but for all I know, they could have just deleted the app whenever they handed me their phone, so who's to say? A few months later, another notification warning that showed nothing on my home screen. A few minutes later, there was another vibration on my phone, and my screen turned on again. I remembered what happened before and concluded that someone just found the app that I used that had unlimited messaging, and they could just message me there to try and scare me or prank me. But once again, I opened my phone to see 2 notifications from the app. And when I opened it, I wish I didn't. One message simply said my name. My full name. Keep in mind, my friends didn't know my middle name. And my school's name with a date. The date was February 8th, 2017, which I found confusing until I realized what it meant. It was the first day I sent a message on the app. When I downloaded it, like I said, it was late at night, it didn't work, so I couldn't fully test the app without risking getting in trouble for staying up too late since it was on a school night. After those messages, I just decided to delete every app. Every hidden app I had. Messaging, photos, anything, out of pure fear. Only to realize that I got a new message from my phone's default messenger with a blank name. That won't do you any good. We know who you are and where you are. We'll see you one day, but you won't see us. To this day, I have never touched those sketchy apps, and I'm glad I have an iPhone now, so I don't even see those apps anymore. If you have an Android, please be careful what you download. Even if you're like me and wanted a bit of privacy, don't download anything without doing your research. As to this day, I am still scared because I don't know who those people are or what they meant to do to me. Hey guys, it's Nightfalls. I just want to say if you made it to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching it. This is my first ever attempt at actually writing a creepypasta, as I've loved horror my whole life and especially was fascinated with creepypastas and decided to try and write my own. Ironically, of course, I submitted it to the actual creepypasta website and I don't think they accepted it, so I'll just be posting it here. Hope you guys liked it, have a good rest of your day or night, and look forward to more in the future maybe. Peace.